Hello there, my name is Chris Schrader, and this is my presentation on the LP. In the earliest stages of audio recording, Thomas Edison was the first one to create the phonograph. It used a tinfoil sheet wrapped around a metal cylinder, and a metal stylus would pick up vibrations off of a diaphragm that was attached to a mouthpiece. When you rotated the handle, you were capable of etching in the sound and therefore creating a recording. These were rough, to say the least. About 10 years after the phonograph was created, Alexander Graham Bell and Charles Taylor changed the tinfoil to a wax cylinder. These recordings were much clearer and helped make the next step, which was used by Emil Berliner, who was attempting to avoid using Edison's patents on the phonograph, so he recreated the way that sound was taken in. The first change he made was to switch the cylinder into a flat disc. This was a metal disc covered in lampblack wax, and a stylus would cut the sound being recorded into it in a circular, lateral, not vertical motion. The final thing that he made as a step to this process was he would put the disc in an acid bath to help solidify the grooves caused by the stylus. After this invention came around, there was a rush to focus the globalization of this invention. The disc size had expanded, it was much easier to use, and recordings were much better. He began spreading the gramophone around through tours of Russia and Europe and even India through a company that he had started called the Gramophone and Type Recorder Company, which then later on was known as HMV and then EMI. Will and Fred Gainsbourg were the agents of Emil Berliner, and they helped actually do these tours throughout the rest of the world. This affected society greatly. Recordings became possible for orchestras and for all types of music, and they were capable of documenting history through audio recordings. Because it had a better quality of recording than Bell, it was found to be extremely popular, and because of this, Bell then started up research again, creating a process called the Vitaphone. The Bell Telephone Laboratories was capable of creating the first LPs. The difference in size was much greater because these long plays were intended to be matched with film. They rotated at 33.5 rotations per minute, and shortly after this process was perfected, the World War I and World War II started. Columbia Records became the first production company to use the LP in studio. In 1948, they released an LP of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto in E minor, played by Nathan Milstein and Bruno Walter, conducting the Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra of New York. Thank you. This has been my presentation. I hope you learned something.